The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these stories simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think, and this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
The real reason for us to lie to the world. Let us mortify man as in ancient days to instill our knowledge. So that they may not know God and do our bidding. We'll call them men of renown.
Some NASA actors say that you can totally see stars when you're in space.
Whilst in space, have you ever looked away from Earth into the black void?
Yeah. So
all
because
the
you can
time.
see, because you can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
Yeah. It's not a black void. I mean, it's black, but there's all kinds of little polka dots.
There's all the stars there, and the cool thing is about it, you can see it during the day.
Yeah, you can, and there's more than stars. You can see planets. You can see moons.
You see the gas. Magellan clouds of the Milky
you
Way
see
galaxy.
the Magellanic Clouds.
Magellanic. See, I just wanted the Magellan
there's a large
clouds.
one
I didn't
and
want
a
to
small one, right?
Yeah.
And then you can see the zodiacal light.
Whoa.
But the NASA actors from 1969 say that you can't see the stars in space.
We were never able to see stars from the lunar surface or on the daylight side of the moon by eye without looking through the optics. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar corona what stars we could see.
I don't remember seeing any.
The sky is almost white with the light of the universe, with the uncountable number of stars.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world. And yet, I ask you, is not an alien force already among us? What could be more alien to the universal aspirations of our peoples than war? And the threat of war.
If I told you I'd lie, would you feel lonely?
I'm gonna step off the limb now.
I don't think so. Nothing but lies.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Nothing but propaganda. Nothing but lies.
If I told you I'd lie.
It's one small step
If
for
I
man.
told you I'd lie.
Surgeon says that you were installed on the ICU bracket.
Would you feel lonely?
Surgeon says the crew is doing well. It is good, crew is doing well. I was doing the LEC on the secondary side.
I see your lies, I see your lies, I see right through you.
They are hiding God.
Into my mind, you made me blind, but now I see you.
It is special, but it has to be.
In the heliocentric model, Earth is just one of 8 planets in our solar system, all of which are said to be huge spherical Earth-like habitations or globular gas giants millions of miles away. They claim the Earth under our feet, along with these 7 other planets, all revolve concentric circles or ellipses around the Sun, hence the term heliocentric.
Now, I understand people want to believe this is real, but this is not reality.
The previously prevailing geocentric model had placed Earth as the immovable center of the universe.
There are still children who believe this is possible, but it's not.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
You've got to realise that you're dealing with a criminal class who wants to kill you. Your government wants to kill you. That's what they're doing, folks. That's what this whole 5G grid is about. That's what the active denial system is about. That's what the IoT is about. It's a prison. It's not there for your convenience. They're locking you down into a smart prison where they can monitor every single action that you do and discard you if you think in a way they don't like. They are hiding God.
But, no, people love the fantasy because it's better than reality. Someone want to explain that? I don't think so.
Surgeon says that command code on the IP bracket. Surgeon says the crew is doing well. Data is good. Crew is doing well. I'm doing the LEC on the secondary stack.
In the heliocentric model, however, which would be more appropriately titled the acentric model, the Sun is only the center of our solar system, while itself, supposedly, simultaneously, revolving 500,000 mile per hour spirals around the Milky Way galaxy, which itself is constantly shooting 670 million miles per hour away from an alleged Big Bang creationary explosion.
In 1986, the shuttle Challenger exploded about 74 seconds after takeoff, killing all 7 astronauts inside. Or did it? It turns out that 6 of the 7 are still alive and kicking today. Ellison Onizuka claims to be his identical twin brother, Claude. Yeah, I've got an identical twin brother, Claude, too. The Challenger pilot, Mickey Smith, hasn't even bothered changing his name. He's now Professor Michael J. Smith of University of Wisconsin. Now, Krista McAuliffe was a bit of a sneaky one. She was the Challenger payload specialist, quite famous for being a teacher. It turns out during her astronaut days she was using her middle name, Krista, and now she goes by her first name, Sharon, and she's a Syracuse law professor. The Challenger commander, Francis Richard Scobie, is now Dick Scobie, which sounds like a rather unpleasant disease, CEO of Cows in Trees Limited. Judith Resnick, the Challenger mission specialist, again hasn't even bothered changing her name. She's a professor at Yale Law. And finally, Ronald McNair, another Challenger mission specialist, claims to be his identical twin brother, Carl McNair. What are the odds?
This video is a perfect demonstration of how important the numbers are to them. There's many people that come into my channel and say, oh, I agree with you in a lot of things you say, but these numbers you mention are ridiculous. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Yes, exactly. You don't get it. You don't understand it. That this is how they operate. They operate through the number system. I'm going to play this video. It's going to be crystal clear for all to see. Again, they're all about the numbers. Take a look.
Tonight, Commander Whitson making history with her record for any American. By the time she lands in September, her tally will be 666 days in space.
Before she arrives back to Earth, 666 days. You think that's just a coincidence? Of course, it's planned. These are occultists. NASA is nothing more than an occultic organization run by the satanic government. That simple.
I'm not here because of the record, but
I'll stop right here. The so-called Peggy Whiteson, the astronaut, and basically like another transgender crisis actor, like I mentioned before. These people have never been in space. They're just actors, nothing more than deceivers. And one thing I want to get into is the number game, like I mentioned so many times. While the masses see these so-called names, these so-called elite, see the numbers behind the names, with Peggy being a 33 name, and Whiteson being a 36, which is 3 6s, and like I mentioned before, with astronaut, which is also a play on names, with astro not never being in space, with astronaut being 33 as well. Now let's continue on.
Her favorite thing about being in space? Simply seeing the Earth from North Africa's red.
So fake, so phony.
To the Caribbean blues. From
This is all CGI. Okay, this is the purpose of course, all the so-called space missions and ISS. I mean, nothing about this is real, but you can tell people that are in love with the whole idea of outer space. Because, again, I said it so many times, the fantasy is better than the reality. And this is all science fiction. That's all it is. Now, I found this very interesting with Bart Sibrels, Astronauts Gone Wild, in this interview with Apollo 12, supposed Apollo 12 astronaut Alan Bean. Take a listen to what he says here. Again, they speak in code. Take a listen.
The air conditioning. What powered the air batteries? You had a number of big batteries in the lunar module. They powered pumps. They powered the air conditioning. They powered the communication system. And that's the reason we were only able to stay on the moon 33 hours.
Stay on the moon for only 33 hours. Of course, they've never been to the moon, never been in space, and it's just coded with their number 33. And according to science, which is nothing more than deception, of course, science and science fiction are one and the same, like I mentioned before, with the Earth supposedly 23.4 degrees on its axis. And that leaves you, of course, to the occultic number, again, 66.6 degrees off, being horizontal. So, again, these numbers are always going to be there. Just like I shown before as well, Earth is supposedly orbiting around the sun at 66,600 miles an hour. All these fabricated numbers, all based around the occult. Not just the so-called ball Earth. When you look at, not just NASA as well, you look at the European Agency, the nuclear, so-called nuclear research, CERN, and you see the 666 hidden in the logo. So basically, for all the deniers of the number system that these people operate off, you're just incomplete now. You don't want to believe it. You want to believe you have some type of intelligence. And the school system, which is nothing more than the indoctrination centers throughout not only this country, throughout the world. They're all Masons that own and control not only the U.S. school system, but throughout this whole entire world, which is owned and controlled by the satanic Masons. Now, the NASA deception, of course, goes back to the very beginning with the head of rocketry, the former Nazi Werner von Braun, and he has, of course, a Bible verse, Psalms 19:1. Take a look here at what it says, and that Bible verse, again, the man head of rocketry, head of NASA, from, again, Psalms 19:1, the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament shows his handiwork. Okay, the head of NASA's rocketry. This is 100% mockery. Basically, like I said so many times, everybody knows the Earth is flat, except the masses, except the general public. Everybody that's basically on top of this world when it comes to, NASA itself, the government. Of course, NASA being nothing more than a government agency. Hollywood, as you see here as well, when it comes to the concept of the flat Earth with this 1983 TV show called V for Visitors with these alien invaders. As I've shown this many times, when you get a close-up, this is the flat Earth model with the sun and the moon within the biblical flat Earth. And you see how the sun and moon, and you see the circular motion within. I mean, this is clear as day. There's no denying this, that this is the biblical flat Earth, and even the four corners as mentioned in the Bible itself. So again, as I show many times, this Bible verse, Revelation 12:9, where it states the great dragon, the old serpent called the devil, deceives the whole world. Okay, this is very literal, and even Christians, people that believe in God, do not understand this is 100% literal, not just empty words.
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly.
People say, well, what does it matter? If the Earth is flat, what does it matter? What difference does it make? It's the foundation for where we are.
It represents so much more than just this superficial understanding of oh yeah, this is what we live on. No, it is so much more. It's intended. It has a purpose. It's intentional. We are here for a reason. What is that reason? You start to ask all of these questions and you realize it's so much bigger. Life is so much, reality is so much bigger than our little problems, these things here on earth. We understand that we are special, unique, a creation. It's right there in front of us. It's been there in front of us for a long time. When you can shed yourself of the indoctrination in the lie of this idol that we have, the globe, that is constantly sold to us, constantly that image is put in front of us. Why? Why? Because it takes us away from our God, our Creator. The ancients knew this. They understood it. It's taken 500 years to really take us away from that understanding. And these people that defend the globe, you realize that your argument for the globe will never get any better than it is right now. Where our argument for our reality is getting stronger and better every day. You're not going to win this argument. Why? Because your best argument is right now. Ours is getting better. Do we have an answer for everything? No. We don't have an answer for everything. We're working on those answers. You've had 500 years to spin a tale of lies, a web of lies, a house of cards. And you know what? Piece by piece, we're going to take it apart until you got nothing left. So I would say stop defending what's going to be indefensible. Come to our side. The earth is flat.
You're the one who said you walked on the moon when you didn't. Calling the kettle black, if I ever thought of it. Saying I misrepresented myself.
Away from me.
You're a coward and a liar and a thief.